It's time to get official here in the Phantoms Lair. This is the official wrap of the official unofficial practice matches of the pre-season. It's Amy Series time. The actual official pre-season games are almost here, but it's been a week of match simulation sessions and we've got a lot to recap. We've learned a lot. Each team's been in action and our SuperCoach teams are already changing because of it. With me on the Lair are official Lair members, Simeon, Kingsley, Thomas Wilson, 5 names.
Phantom? Official, sorry, official.
Official?
Yeah.
Yep. Unofficial. Unofficial Dazzy, just didn't quite make it. You've won the race in here. He was going to be in here today. You were rubbing shoulders, but you're back.
Shoulders? Yep.
And the Chiefs here.
G'day.
Now, before we get into the wrap, we're going to go through what caught our eye, the standouts, and what it means for your SuperCoach team in 2026. We have to mention 5 names. One of the worst performances in the history of SuperCoach last night, Sunday night here in Adelaide. We've started a SuperCoach draft keeper league. First draft, inaugural draft of the league. It's called the Chief Cup after our friend, the Chihuahua Chief. Now, talked a big game. You would have known that by listening to him on the show in the previous few weeks, but he went to a new level in the office before the draft, 5 names. And then also the Keeper League AFL Fantasy podcast still features on the cover photo of the page. So we thought he was pretty good. He said he was going to school everyone. Dossie's going to go to work, I think he said.
He had all this draft strategy. He was like, this person I'm doing, I'm going to punt routes, do all this, do all that.
It was one of the absolute shockers. What happened, Chief? That team is a mess. I've seen messes and that is a disaster.
It's not me finest work. I'll be the first to admit. But look, we're in it for the long haul. First year, we might have gone the year 1 rebuild to start with, but we're going for the 10-peat. So year 2, year 3, and then it begins the 10-peat, Dossie's 10-peat. So
what was the feedback?
We went young.
What was the feedback you got from your friends today?
Yeah, what was the quote? Yeah, I sent it off to my mates, the draft doctors, and the feedback was...
Okay. Was it what do you have against players in their peak?
Yes, what do you have against players in their prime? I think it was. Yep.
All right, we've gone young. We're going to quickly go through what you did.
I know there are people
in the keeper draft.
Yep.
Luke Jackson, Sam Flanders, pick 1 and 2.
I had to get Sammy Flanders.
You had pick 7.
We'll be talking about him. The recap of the practice matches.
So 7 and 14. Then you went in a keeper draft when you're picking for the future. You've gone Max Gawn and Christian Petrarca with the next 2 picks.
Any commissioner out there, any league commissioner out there usually tells everyone the rules of the draft well prior to the draft. I was unaware there was a flex position until the night of, and I suddenly scrolled down to my utter shock to see there was a flex position. I panicked and I picked Max Gawn. We pivoted from a sort of young team to an older one. Then I went back to the youth, and then it was just a shambles. So
quickly though, 5 names: Jack Steele, Josh Ward, Jack McRae, Xavier Lindsay, Zach Johnson, Harvey Thomas.
All the bad picks.
Jeez. Anyway,
he did get his boy Willem Duursma.
Got Duursma. That's
didn't
all.
Get Harley. I picked you for Harley Reid, Jagga.
Yeah.
You were Devo.
Phantom.
Pretty upset.
Dossie's not the only one going to get criticised. I know people want us to get to the match simulation. Just Phantom starts the draft at 8 o'clock. Literally, I'm generally half asleep today. It finished at like 12.
Yep.
Who can we blame for that mostly?
Him. Bad commissioning there.
Yeah.
5 names house at his house.
Yeah.
Good host.
Hipster. Also taking about 5 minutes per pick.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's get into a general thought. So on the practice matches, then you always are one to say don't overreact. Does that hold strong this year with some of the new rules we've seen? You're not overreacting to general practice matches whatsoever?
I'm not. And I'm trying to tell you over the weekend because this is what the group chat looked like. 5 names. Duursma is the effing GOAT with the AFL Rising Star betting 13-1. Free money, said the chief. Telling us to book his flights in September.
I think the chief didn't realise that there was a the Eagles were kicking with the wind in that first quarter.
I had to bring back the Nuff alarm just for one last time. The Wigs, we're up and about.
Yeah, but you're kicking with the wind.
We're flag bound this year, and everyone's on board as well, I'm sure. But Look, it was fun to watch. I'm sure some Weagles players will be on our watch list. We're going to go through 20 players who caught our eye, whether positively or negatively, on the weekend across all the unofficial practice matches. So again, there's no SuperCoach scores from these. Champion Data don't record the stats here. So thanks to some of the numbers, of course, you mentioned the Keeper League pod off the top. Hef, good mate, SA lad as well, doing a lot of God's work there.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out.
Great work, but get enough a line up because there's some real enough effort. We love it though. We do love it.
It is, yeah. So he's let me know. I got a text out of nowhere the other day after and it was like, again, another bleep we need early in the pod here, but thank bleep that's over after doing so much of that work. So thank you very much, Hef, for getting some of those stats to the community over the weekend, but it did allow us to, match up our eye test watching the games with some of the numbers that we were seeing rolling through. Now, we do have SuperCoach scores coming up for the official practice matches coming up this week.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the Amy Community Series coming up, and we'll be getting...
Wednesday night.
From Wednesday, we'll be getting scores from that, so that'll be fun to talk about post all of that. But are we concerned? The big thing, again, we've seen... And I think it's going to kick it off into my first discussion on one of the players, but the ruck rules yet again, I think that was probably another big takeaway. Just the way that the players handle these, mainly the centre throw up, and how it looks so different to what it did last year. It just does look significantly different, and it might have almost ruled out a player archetype in the league in terms of the guys that can't jump. You've basically either got to be tall or be able to jump now to have an impact at centre bounce. Now, you can still do stuff around the ground, but to me, that was probably my biggest takeaway. And I'm not sure if this is an overreaction, Phantom, or just a correction by the AFL, by the league, as to the direction that we're going now in the modern era.
We went hard before we saw it on Xerri.
Yep.
Copped a lot of flack about it, but some probably came back and tend to agree with us after what happened. Now, I think seeing it for the first time like we did, it was, it stood out.
Yeah.
I think as we go, it's not going to be obvious. It's not Tristan Xerri's not going to get his pants pulled down by Max Heath 23 rounds of the year.
No.
But it is going to be adjustment for some of those types of players.
Yep. So that was the big thing. Tristan Xerri in general. I mean, we were saying, I wasn't as keen as you guys were initially to fade, but I think it's becoming a sort of a trend, and I'm seeing his ownership drop over the weekend and heading into what we'll see in round one. The practice matches again this week when we get to see some scores will be quite significant.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the big thing to actually see. This is still match simulation. Like, to see what it's. I know there's not too much difference between this and a preseason match. Actually able to see. We'll have champion data there, which would be good. But yeah, so I think it's just another big watch.
Yeah, still picked up touches around the ground. Didn't lay a heap of tackles, but these guys aren't super contested. We know that in general in preseason. So one to just watch again is Xerri, and we're going to keep our eye on him thoroughly. But an option has emerged.
Oh yes,
and we've got to get your thoughts on this. Yeah.
You
called it.
Basically break this news on the Lair.
Yeah.
What happened at Albion Oval on Friday night?
Does he still want to go back through the episodes to
Yeah. Five Names wants me to clip him up every week, basically, just going back through old takes of his.
Pretty much.
It was a good one.
Lachlan
McAndrew he is firming at a rapid rate to be Crows' number one ruckman.
Yep.
To start the season, like he was again really, got the nod over Riley O'Brien for the Crows against Port. And he was impressive. Like we know the ruck rules are helping him. They're helping him a lot. He's 210.
Yeah,
210, 211.
We looked it up, 6'9".
So he's jumping all over everyone. But what he did on Friday night, were you in the bushes, Dossie? Or?
I wasn't there. No. Opted against it.
The bushes were full. What he did though, he had an impact around the ground. He took maybe, you'd say at least two intercept marks, to about 3 or 4 contested marks. Should have kicked the goal. But he was impressive. I think he's becoming a pretty good option as an R2 right now.
Yeah, R2. So, I mean, hang on a second.
Locked in. He's playing, he's in.
Locked in R2 though. So, okay, speaking on field, starting with, I'm guessing, one premium ruck and then McAndrew at R2 on field. Not even worried about not putting him flex, just on field R2.
Yep.
Could be yeah.
That's huge.
Well, it frees up so much.
He's up to 20. I've seen him gone from like
the team looks.
It looks nice with him there.
The only thing is, if I'm trying to temper expectation,
Thank you. Yep.
I think he's playing better than Riley O'Brien at the moment. I think because the Troy's like, they say Riley O'Brien's such a great leader, he does all this stuff. I think it could be like one bad game by McAndrew and he's out. Whereas O'Brien will have to have like, 4 bad games before he's dropped or something.
Wow,
I think Rob's just got a little more credits in the bank. So that does make me think, would they be like, bring him back in quickly?
Yeah.
But don't know.
So basically, I'm looking at it is, maybe a extra premium midfielder.
Mm.
So I've got Will Ashcroft or Finn Callahan in my team and McAndrew. Or you've got a premium ruck and a rookie somewhere else in defence or forward. So I'm backing that combination of the rookie ruck in McAndrew and the premium mid over the primo ruck and the rookie elsewhere.
It becomes a lot more easier, I think, if Liam Reedy actually shows.
Yeah.
If he shows something and you've got that little, you want to have some cover. That's the other thing. I think you can really roll with him as an R2, but you want to make sure you have some playing cover in some. Yeah,
we got, if a Mitch Edwards, say, plays where you got a Mitch Edwards or a Reedy at R3, and then maybe do you play a Cooper Duff-Tyler or something like that, ruck forward, if he gets a game for the Eagles at flex.
I still like him at flex personally. Still, that's kind of where I'm leaning, but I don't know. I just think currently, based on what we've seen so far, we could see something completely different this coming week, but based on what we've seen so far, I think he's got to be on field, to you guys' point. So whether that's at R2 or flex, I think I'm on board that. But at least if you don't have him at either of those spots, you've surely got to get him on your bench. He's now 24% owned. So I reckon he was under 2% owned when we recorded and when Sim was talking him up, because I went and put him on my bench at that time. He's now up to 23% or 24%, and that'll be rising rapidly.
He could easily start at 50% plus.
Well, let's move on. I mean, that was one of the bigger names, though, obviously coming through. Huge ownership change after the practice match. But another player firming potentially for some ruck minutes that could be interesting for us, Phantom, is a player that you possibly have in your squad at the moment, do you?
I don't. Took him in the draft last night.
Yeah, you did.
Lachlan Blakiston from the Bombers.
Yep.
Now played in the ruck against the Tigers. Looked good.
Yeah.
We know he can jump.
Now, talking about, so it looked like at times Max Heath was all over Xerri. I'll tell you what, Blakiston absolutely pantsed Knack. It was, from my eye, it did not look great. So,
what are Nank and Xerri going to do when they play each other? No one's going to win a hit out.
He can jump. He can jump.
And we played defender last year after arriving at the club, but back when he sort of stood out and probably got the attention of the Bombers, was playing as a ruckman in the waffle.
Yeah.
Some good numbers there. In 2024, averaged 118 SuperCoach points per game, 16 disposals, 10 contested possessions, 33 hit-outs, 8 of those to advantage, 5 clearances, 4 tackles, 5 score involvement. So a good all-round stat guy as a ruckman in the waffle. Nick Bryan's not there at the moment.
Do you think that, do you think he's straight? I mean, they had...
Maybe has he, potentially and on talent and down the track going to be, but he's yet to prove it. So if Blakiston can impress and cement his spot early in the season, Bryan have to do the work to dislodge him.
On the commentary on that game, watching, they had Andrew. Is it Andrew? No, McPherson, or that's the old Adelaide player. Someone, the footy boss, Essendon's footy boss,
Dan McPherson.
Always love Andy over here. Was always a big believer.
The Moose.
He was on and basically said, it's his job at the moment, and like obviously there's still pressure for spots, but he said once Bryan is back in the fold that it's basically he's going to have to obviously show a lot to to come over the top of Blakiston now. So it's kind of like in essence is his to lose now, and so I do think the quality of Bryan does come through at some point. But for the start of the season, which is you've basically got him there as a moneymaker,
$295K defender.
Now, a smart person tweeted out on the weekend, Blakiston doesn't feel like the SDK trap of last year. Sam De Koning, a lot of us He's the clear number one ruck, can find the pill, great waffle numbers playing ruck, and the new rules benefit him a lot. And finally, doesn't play for Geelong. Now, that was tweeted out by one Dossie.
Yeah.
Smart man. What do you guys think on that? I find the price a little awkward, and probably to your point, Fant, why you haven't got him in your team at the moment. I've kind of backflipped after initially just chucking him in my team, but I think it is a very awkward price. And given there is that sort of not solidified job security, you're not paying what you are for McAndrew. You're paying, $295,000. What do you think? 5 names.
I think you could roll with. I think if you have McAndrew at R2, you could roll with Blakiston as your flats.
Can he play long enough to get ruck status? And then you'll be able to use him as a ruckman after round 6.
I just think he's part of it. Like I know he costs a bit, but he's going to get to a primo quicker than another, or get you closer to a primo quicker because he is, a bit more expensive than other similar players.
We'll be able to see some scores though, won't we? And sort of make our mind up based on if he does have a bit of scoring power as well on the weekend.
I'm going to hijack the order here you've got because Kitty Coleman, 233K in defence. He was looking good for that D4 spot. That's probably where Blakiston fits in, doesn't he? So do you start both of them? Probably not.
Yeah.
Given what the rookies, what we've seen, what we're going to talk about shortly. But Kitty Coleman started forward.
Yeah.
13 touches, as we said, but did go back. Also, as you mentioned, I said to you when we were talking about the game, Cam Raynham wasn't there, a few others weren't there, that we know how strong Brisbane are at full strength through the front half of the ground, and we know how good Kitty is as a defender. We saw it. We go back to that grand final, that first half, Supercoach ton in the first half. So I still think he plays back. We'll find out more. And if he does start and finish back in the Amy series, then again, he's still at 233K, almost a must-have for mine. So I wouldn't get too worried about seeing him forward and riding him off because of that.
Okay. Out of those two, which one you going, Blakiston or Kitty? And you reckon you can't go both?
You could, but there's a lot of rookies we're going to talk about we think are good options. I think Blakiston's just a little bit too expensive.
Okay.
Kitty for mine.
All right, my next player, and it's no surprise here, guys. Sam Flanders. We can just lock him away. I won't speak about him too much, but he was incredible. Incredible. And dare I say, my call that he's the F2 and the, Baz 2.0 of last year. And I was like, temper the expectations, not maybe quite to Baz level. It could be beyond Baz level. It could be beyond. It could be F1 status. Oh, could he surpass Sheasel? Could I have been unders here? Could he be the number one forward this year?
I know the quote card's going to be.
Could he be the F1 season 2026? I think he could. He had, according to our man Hef, now again, these stats, we know that they've taken manually, so could be some discrepancies in these stats, but 31 disposals, 8 marks, 5 tackles. I think he was about 10 disposals off there.
I was about to say, can you confirm or deny that you might have sent a few corrections?
No, if anything, he was under 5 or 6 there. No, I even saw Sammy Flanders take a kick in. Such was the man demanding the pill for the Saints. So unbelievable stuff. Love to see that. We'll get to Sim.
Your boy now, Sim.
Your man for Essendon, playing midfield again. You've been spruiking his name all preseason.
Yeah, Archie Roberts, he's played a lot of inside, didn't he?
He did.
Obviously knows that Maric.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously that's a big watch to see how Maric's going to impact this. And the report after the game was that, Archie Roberts hasn't been guaranteed a midfield spot yet. But the role was very promising and he's shown he can do a lot when he's there.
Yeah. He's certainly on the radar now. And talking about our keeper league from the top of the show. Oh, Dossie snaked him, but right before 5 names wanted him.
Yeah, I know.
Very happy stuff.
Is he in your classic team, Chief?
Archie, not at the moment, but certainly now.
Still in mine.
Very much on the radar. Had 28 and 7 in this one. Just racked up the pill.
Yeah.
A bunch of frees against though. This was from another track watcher as well that got the Essendon stats.
We just need to see it from how he fits this with Maric, really. But if you're big on Archie Roberts, you'll be happy. You'll be feeling pretty bullish.
I think so.
Let's move the order again, sticking with the Bombers. Chief, you got Darcy Parish down as a lock. Speaking of that Essendon midfield, did you see enough?
Yeah. Oh, did I see enough? He was everywhere. He was absolutely everywhere, was Darcy Parish. And all the word that's come out of the Bombers this preseason, we keep seeing the quotes, vintage Parish, all this sort of stuff, back to 2021 Parish when this guy was just pumping out SuperCoach tons week in, week out. I'm confident that he's sort of at the best level that he can be at this stage of his career. And whether that is back to those lofty heights, that's yet to see. But at the price that he's at in the mid-price bracket within, the $300,000 to $400,000 bracket and at the lower end too.
I've put him back in.
He's in for me and firming to be, as I said, a lock based on that. We'll just see one more week. And the biggest thing for him, just the body needs to hold up, Fant, because if the body's good, Parish is a guy that's always scored well, always been a good player. It's just his body that can't give him a break. So,
yep. A couple of questions coming through here on Instagram and X. Drake says, of a Bombers question, Sharp, Farrow and Parish, do we need all three?
Yeah.
Bombers rookies there. Featured. Farrow didn't start the game, came on, played back. Sharp, a note here on X. Jordan says, I hated Dyson Sharp's role, found the footy but played against a poor side in a low-pressure game.
Yeah, Sharp was started on the half-forward line and sort of rolled into stoppage, which can be actually an okay role, especially when you're only paying $140K. And to start the game, he had it on a string immediately. The disposal was probably a bit shaky, which we kind of expect from any rookie. But he was able to find the pill pretty well and then moved in midfield, I think, late in the game as well and showed what he can do. So it's just a matter of selection for him. If he's selected, we all can safely pick him and even consider on field, but I'd probably be more comfortable having him as that cash cow on the bench until we know what that role is. But yeah, you could say the role wasn't amazing. On the other side, Farrow, his disposal was just elite. And I think that's what we've just been hearing as well. It was a Jordan Dawson, his comparison. So can definitely see that. But whether or not he'll accumulate enough for us, Phantom, and we've got a few other juicy rookie options down back that we'll speak about shortly, that's probably harder to tell. But good kicking is good SuperCoach, you always say, Phantom. So despite perhaps limited opportunities to grab the pill with the team at the moment, do you still see him as an option?
I think so.
Yeah.
Still in my team. But the other one in that same game, Richmond versus Essendon, Sam Grlj, 26 touches. We've seen him through the preseason at training highlights, the way he moves, the way he runs, and what he's going to add and how much dash he's going to add to that Richmond side. And he showed that against the Bombers, 170-ish K, about looking at it right now, mid-defender. How many can we go in now? I think it's not a Farrow out, Grlj in. I think it's still, they both work together. Zeke Uwland as well from the Gold Coast Suns is another top price rookie defender.
I think you'll pass him now. I think there's better options. Just a term of price point.
Yeah, there's a few. I think we'll find out what's a big call. I still think Zeke's okay. These kids aren't going to get 20 touches every game.
Those conditions, for anyone that didn't get a chance to watch the Gold Coast Saints game, they were just classic Gold Coast conditions. Like gross. There was, everyone was cramping up at times. Oh, there was a hilarious clip of your man Zeke though, Phantom out there. Did you see?
No, that was good.
Did the pickle get in the pickle juice?
Yeah. But the other thing is, Gold Coast are going to be a good team this year. Is he going to be able to break into it? They're pretty strong.
He picked 2 in the draft. I think he's going to just slot in. I think he'll be in there. What do you think, Phantom? You've looked a lot more at his
still in mind. Yeah, haven't moved.
Yeah.
Wait and see what happens this week and how everyone else goes. But I'm not writing off.
Yeah, he's not moved for me either. But I understand what you're saying. 199K. It's a lot to pay up for rookies. I suppose, Fant, you've just jumped all over the shop anyway. I might as well move to another expensive rookie then, because he's been talked about a lot and he is my man, my new keeper star for the next 10 years for the 10-peat, for the Dossie 10-peat. Willem Duursma for the Weagles. Now, I did message you. You mentioned off the top of the show the message that came through a bit of coin was splashed on the Rising Star 5 minutes into that game when you had about 5 touches and a goal outside 50.
First goal of the game too.
He showed his class immediately. I think the problem for us super coaches is that, yes, it looks like he's playing a wing role, and wing is not typically a fruitful scoring position. What are your thoughts as a non-biased? I don't think I can move him out of there. I just want to watch my beloved Weagles and watch him, show his class. He's such a good user of the footy, can find it. And obviously we've already seen him finish some great goals and stuff like that. So I feel like the scoring may be up and down based on that wing role, but paying $200K, is either of you guys willing to do it?
I've still got him in my team at the moment.
Yeah.
Not for me. Doesn't fit into my midfield with the Hayden Young, Harley Reid, and then Jagga Smith, Will Brodie maybe, Dyson Sharp. Can't get him in.
It is expensive, so I can see why some people are jumping off. I just love that obviously the job security's there, and I've seen enough already. I've seen enough from the great man to lock him away. You mentioned Jagga already, just there. The stats on paper didn't pop off the page, Phantom, but the eye test
didn't play a full game.
No, exactly. It was around 3/4. The eye test was amazing. The eye test for Jagga.
Yeah, start him. Just start him on your field.
Forget it. Move on.
Yeah. I want to get some more intel from down at Alberton from the weekend. The Crom v Pair. There's obviously a number of names of interest in SuperCoach, but one that I wasn't expecting to play a little bit inside mid, Sim, kicked 5 snags while I was at it as well. Riley Thilthorpe.
Yeah.
The midfielder?
Yeah, went around the midfield at times. We've seen him in the rut, but he just went pure midfielder, which was quite interesting. Want some clearances.
Jeez. Be an option for us.
And our man, the hipster, wrote on Code Sports as well about with Toby Murray potentially in line to play a ruck forward role that they will be able to free up Thilthorpe a bit.
I think just part of it, Dawson might play a bit more forward.
Mid forward.
Could be, yeah. Woo! I think he'd be a pod. Like he could be. I mean, his key forward play alone could probably get you a good score. But if he's going around the ball, it's going to be pretty fascinating to watch.
Had 5 snags, unfortunately, on your man Harry Ram.
Yeah, poor Harry Ram. Harry Ram. He had.
Yeah, it's a tough.
He didn't do too much. He didn't do too much wrong, to be honest.
Into the fire on that one.
It's he'll learn from it. Josh Rachele.
Yes.
First half, lot of midfield. Second half, a little more forward when Saligo came on. So that's going to be a big watch this weekend. Rankin might play as well.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
What about old Dante? Visentini.
Yeah,
in the ruck.
Got beaten by McAndrew in the ruck. Like McAndrew was jumping all over him, but fought back a bit. Had probably a better second half.
Now, you were a guy that was starting him in your team. Are you still on that train, or are you just going down to
I probably will
McAndrew?
go down to McAndrew.
Yeah.
I haven't made any changes yet from the weekend, but I reckon at this stage I will go McAndrew.
Well, we haven't spoken about, this is almost 5 names with 5 names. Question here from Martin Lover, and the Chief and I were talking about this before. 119K midfielder Chase Jones. Is he playing?
No, he's looking in a wing spot.
Whew. Wow.
He'll play round 1.
We've got another one for us on here. Some breaking news with 5 names.
He'll play, and I'm pretty sure he'll play round 1. He's been training all year, all summer in the wing spot. No Dan Curtin, like obviously Curtin's going in. I think he's playing round 1.
Average 74 in 2003.
See, basement price bench. That's just what we need, especially if a player. So there's obviously we're just jumping all over the shop here, but a guy like a Patrick Rechko only came on in the second half of that Tigers game, which we had kind of all penciled him away for a wing role. We'd heard a lot of positive things coming out of Tigerland, but if he is a guy that then doesn't get that role, we're pretty much just swapping him straight for a guy that Sim has just broken the news. He reckons he'll be there round 1.
Yeah.
We'll have to get him in.
Pretty confident on this.
Will Brodie?
Will
Brodie.
Didn't do a lot. I'm not. The only way he will play if they do just go, Wines is out, we're going to go another big body. But I think he's in between him and Will Lorenz for a spot. So I don't know. But
so not confident. So Sim, Been on the Will Brodie bus train all
I have.
pre-season.
Yeah, you know,
Gee.
another one for you to clip up, Dossie.
Jeez. Yeah. Jack Steele was one that caught my eye, guys, for Melbourne. I've been looking for that premium, wondering where to go with my midfield premiums. Jack Steele was one that looked like vintage form, was still cruising around as if it was a practice match, obviously, but had on these stats 21, 5, 6, and 2 goals, was just having fun, playing as a pure midfielder again, back at home where he belongs at Melbourne. And Melbourne, by the way, had their way with North Melbourne, so looked very good, looked like a whole different setup there as well. But Jack Steele in the midfield, Phantom, any interest there now, having seen it in action?
No. Everyone has their way with North. He did look good.
He looked great.
No,
I'm not going there. Doesn't fit in my structure.
If you like him, go with him.
No early buy, bargain, 94 average last season, gone 100 plus many a time before, gone even 120 before. No interest from the guys.
The AFL, if the AFL want the game to speed up, it's going to make it harder for blokes like him.
I feel like you still got to have a couple of guys in there that do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, still, I'm pretty high on him. Another player from that game though, Kozzy Pickett, Sim.
Yeah.
I know Dadsy's been keen on Kozzy.
that's it.
Similarly on that train of thought, because he had 28 and 5 snags.
Yeah,
he was everywhere. He was best on ground.
Yeah. He could be a very interesting story. Yeah, he could be a good story for this year. I reckon. Actually, yeah, we haven't discussed this, and Phantom has rightfully been slammed for his top 6 forwards.
Yep.
Are you going to put Kozzy Pickett in there? Kozzy Pickett, top 6 forward this year. I don't even think that's actually going to be a wild statement now, to be honest.
He threw it down the Baz,
Top
though.
10.
Yeah. Top 10.
Stop doubting me. Now, did you watch Mateus Phillipou? I was copped a bit of grief for number 5 forward call. Went out, on ball, started there, winning the ball in defence, kicking goals, 27 touches on the Hefner stat sheet.
Who's number 6 for you?
Rankin.
Kozzy Pickett will store more points than Rankin. Rankin would Rankin probably might not even be the top 2, the second top scoring pros forward.
Maybe not. Theo says, will Phillipou get the role we want him to? By what we saw, yes.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Everyone's
he was like, yeah, I was.
Actually, no,
so
Dossie's messages were worse about Phillipou. That was, they were bad.
He was incredible.
Yeah. All right, stirring up Pickett. I'm interested.
Okay.
Don't know how I'm going to get all these people in, but.
What about Connor MacDonald? Similar type of
still that
price point in the forward line.
That comment that Mitchell said still has me just a little bit concerned.
Was playing a bit more midfield though. Had plenty of it for the Hawks. Yeah.
Wonder what? I don't know. I'm a little
hard with those. Our forward structures are still tough, but he's certainly one that we can watch in the next practice match as well. Couple of other names here, Phantom. No, you're keen on a certain Ashcroft.
Oh, well, I say to be 6th or 7th forward, graduating to that next tier. Midfielder, graduating to that next tier.
Talking about Levi? Or?
In 2026, had 29, was in first gear.
Yeah,
was barely riding an e-scooter.
Levi wasn't too bad too, by the way.
Yeah.
Just quietly.
It's just that early buy. Like I'd love Ashcroft. I'd love to get it.
What if he gets 120 in opening round though?
Yeah, if you buy stretch awards, might as well.
Love it. Couple of other names, 5 names.
Yep.
Harry Rowston at GWS. Any interest there moving into the midfield? Obviously, a couple of names at GWS. We've just seen them decimated through injury. They had even Brent Daniels. You can rule him out of your plans. Did a hamstring. Don't know what the prognosis is on that, but was out immediately at the start of the game. Their midfield now basically is just Clary, Rowston, and add whoever comes back from these State of Origin games, whether that be a Toby Green, Cornelio.
Toby Green,
these type of guys, yeah.
What's Rowston's price?
And Callahan, obviously, when he's fit.
What's Rowston's price?
He is in the $200,000 bracket. And he came home pretty strong last year, playing a bit more midfield and getting...
271.
271. It is in that sort of awkward price bracket.
Yeah,
we've got
I think
only a few players in there. Tanner Bruin was one, but we didn't get to see him. He was ruled out with illness.
I think he's close enough to Darcy Parish in price where you probably still go Parish, don't you?
Yeah, I was doing a bit of research for our keeper draft last night on Rowston. He was available in the pool, and I was looking at some of just all his numbers throughout his career. He's never been, the elite level scorer in SuperCoach. So I think he can still be a really serviceable player, especially while he's playing, if he's going to get that midfield minutes. Just don't know if I'm comfortable spending that amount of money on a guy who I'm not sure what his ceiling is, even though he did pop. I think he scored 111 late last year, but he kicked 4 goals in that performance as well, which was an amazing performance, but he's not going to be able to do that every single week.
I'd rather pay up and just run the gauntlet on Toby Green.
What about another man, Fant, for GWS, who did take the midfield reins on the weekend, cruising still, but Clary.
Yeah, forget Harry. It's all about Clary, Chief. That's what I wrote down here. 30 touches.
Would you pay? I mean, obviously we need it. We get to see opening round for Clary, but would you consider going back there after the pain of last year? 500k, guy that's done it so many times before, but we kind of felt, as you mentioned with Jack Steele, the game's almost going past these type of players.
I think it's at a price point where, given we've got your Hayden Youngs, Harley Reid, Darcy Parish, Harvey Langford, if you will, I think it's either you're saving money there, or you're going up to a premium. At 500k, I think we can wait and see whether he can, do it to start with and then continue as well. So I still think could push him back up. Not where he was, but closer to where he was than last year, definitely. Happy to wait and have a look though, in terms of whether we, buy if he does start hot, and your premium hasn't before the price changes. Is that something move you make potentially? Make 100k to fix somewhere else, go down from 600k. Remember to Clary if he can show he's going to get back there, but I'll be watching.
Couple more players here. 5 names.
Yep.
Player that I was surprised the ownership was so high given the early buy early on, but Errol Gulden playing as an inside midfielder in this game. He's looking thick, he's looking strong, he's racking up the pill and he's delivering it
I was going to make sure
the chest of
I think,
Charlie.
I think he might have been
naughty.
The one challenge. Yeah, he was the change that I made.
It's a naughty combo.
Errol Gulden, in theory, these rule changes should make it perfect for him. A guy like him, Bailey Smith, those guys that just can run all day. In theory, it should be perfect. I think Errol, I'm not surprised that ownership, even though the buy, he's underpriced. He could be really good.
He's a guy that can score 100 SuperCoach points on a wing, which is unheard of. The next best is 90 odd for players that play pure wing. If he moves inside, he's a guy that could push up.
He's got that inside
115 plus. I mean, he's done 113 before, but
he's got that inside-outside game that you want. Players, you want to play a bit more inside. The other thing is, which is nice about him, he wants to play 100% time on. He doesn't want to come off.
Yeah.
So loads of time to get the footy. Yeah, I think if you like Errol Gulden, you're feeling good about life.
If he has the inside mid role, Phantom, and we're happy with what we see on the eye test, what line do you have to set though for him to score in opening round? Like, if he has the role but he scores an 80, for example, like, are you still happy with that given he had the role? What line do you think you'll be comfortable going with on that?
Well, I've got Ashcroft in that spot. I still think I prefer him. So it has to be a big score for mine. And we know Horse does change up that mix a little bit. So it'd need to be a big score.
Okay. I'm on board now. He's
unless Callahan doesn't play.
He's in my team pretty solidly at the moment.
Phantom's still got Bont though. He's not listening to my. He should be fade.
Well, another one of your faders.
Bont's going down in price.
Naz, he's fading Naz.
Yeah. All right.
He's not only hurting opposition with his kicking.
Yeah.
Absolutely drilled a bullet. And had Jack Higgins rubbing his chest because it hit him on the chest so hard. You were going to fade him.
Naz looked good. I'll tell you what, my big declaration of, fade Naz, that thing didn't age well when Toby Bedford did his hammies, so there's no tag with that. I still think, I don't know, I reckon if you want to start him, start him. I'm just going to have to hope and pray that he goes down, somehow goes down.
But why would you start Naz when you could start Timu Naz? Tom McCarthy looking electric in the midfield again.
He did look good, actually.
He looked good. But yeah, there's a couple of names at West Coast that are potential bargains. Harley Reid, of course, looked pretty solid out there. I really just want to see, with West Coast, it's really hard because they're a low volume team in terms of possessions. Like, we don't generally get the pill in our hands too much, the Mighty Leagues.
Interesting that Port take on West Coast on Sunday. That could be a very interesting game to watch.
It could be.
But the real GOAT, what about the real GOAT?
The real GOAT, though. Is it Ryan Maric season 2.0? Could he be back? He's only, what's he, 460K? With Tom McCarthy moving into the West Coast midfield, he's basically got full reign again over the kick-ins, over taking the ball out of the defence. Like, that's Josh Lindsay's role one day. But right now, our man, he's only 21 years old too, Ryan Maric. Could he just be the guy back there just mopping up for West Coast? Now, as much as I do believe, Weagle's flag inbound in the next couple of years, but this year's still going to be in the back line quite a bit, you'd imagine. Could Ryan Maric be the answer?
And we've seen him, he just likes to take that little shuffle out the box just to get the kick count up. We love it.
He caught my eye.
That's what you're the other one, Devon Robertson.
Yep.
Just
in the team.
In the team, locked in.
Locked in.
Should be, F5 or 6.
Yep. A few other rooks. Lockie Jakes, Phantom, the Chief, the actual Chief. Spoke about him quite a few weeks ago, wasn't it?
Well, Dan Batten.
Jay Clark.
I will give it to Dan Batten.
Nah,
Did you get that rookie Bible?
Don't give it to Dan.
But Bailey Dale.
Yeah.
He's injured as well.
And Lockie Jakes was good. So, look, bench lock in defence by the looks of it.
Quick name as well for the Suns. Looked very good. There was Leo Lombard.
Yeah, Suns rookies, I don't know. I just think they're so stacked. They're going to be so good. Does he in the team? I think he shows good stuff.
He's a hard worker.
He's a hard worker. I think he should. I think he should get in. But is he going to? I think there might be some better.
Wait and see on that.
Yeah.
What about just on the Bailey Dale, Lockie Jakes, quickly before we move on? A few questions on Instagram and X here. Connor Butterick, 245K, the former Sun. Can he fit into that Dogs lineup? Is he an option given he's a forward in SuperCoach?
The forward def could be very handy when he gets that because he's guaranteed to get it, basically, isn't he?
Yeah, potentially. Another, big watch.
Question from you, 5 names.
Yep.
Bergman, yes or no? From Fez Lenker.
Yes. Yes. Not as confident as I was before, but yes. He did go behind the ball a little bit. I think to go forward. I think he's going to be a good starting option, but now I think he's going to. You're going to want to upgrade him to like a top dog.
Ooh, that's
Mr. Fix-It type stuff. Mr. Fix-It.
Could be a little bit.
That's a soft ruling out. Soft way to rule him out.
I think I'm going to still start.
Okay.
I'm back. Yeah.
One quick one you sort of mentioned right off the top. The Liam Reedy situation. It seemed Pitnet was the main guy, which we were hoping Reedy to get that scoring power would be that guy. Does this mean, do you need a pivot? Like, if not, he can just sit there, I guess, as a, dead rook, as we call them. But would you consider paying up now for a Cooper Duff Titler who looked good, but also didn't have a heap of the pill himself? Like, looked good though, could essentially be a slow burn, but you're paying a fair bit more for that Duff Titler spot there.
I think if we do go with McAndrew at R2, then not someone playing.
You don't want to have cover.
If you're going to just switch him out for McAndrew on the bench, though, that's fine. But yeah, are you almost like looking for a parachute option in case that we need to switch that late to another basement price rookie? Do you think he plays still though, regardless?
At some point, maybe. We'll see more this week. Interesting to see what they do against Geelong.
Yep.
Big week coming up, Chief.
Also, Touch Houghton looked very good. Kicked the first goal of the game.
Here's a breakout question on Taj Houghton on Instagram. Breakout, yes or no?
Yes. Yep. Had 15 touches according to Hef again. Thank you for those stats. But just the eye test. He started hot early. He did not start in the midfield, which I was a bit upset about. He started forward and then rolled into the midfield. So he did end up spending a fair bit of time in there. But yeah, he played more game time than Lawler. So Lawler only played, I reckon it was like, I can't remember exactly, but it was like maybe only a half a game. And Lawler's numbers on paper were not flattering. He's the eye test for Lawler though, man. He's thick as. I don't know how much.
It looked like actually like Dusty muscle from behind. Looked like Dusty.
I think that was your nuff message. If we picked up the phone, I reckon you said it's Dusty out there.
And I said it looks like Dusty.
Yeah. He did start in the midfield. So I think those two guys, I think those Richmond rookie, second year players, sophomore breakouts are definitely the big watch for me heading into the community series.
Yep. We're almost there. Big week coming up. Amy series on Wednesday. Big shows coming up here in the Lair, in SA and in Victoria. It's going to be a big couple of weeks. We're not far away, Chief, from opening round. We're not far away from having to lock in our team.
We are. We've got a draft special coming up too. We're planning on doing that. So hopefully people have been crying out for some draft content. Yep. We are aiming to do that this week as well. Should be fun. Single season draft. We've done our keeper ourselves, but we're doing a single season draft. There will be content published around that as well. So.
Chance for redemption.
Yep.
And we're doing that over in Melbourne. We are going to see our friends. So if you see 5 names in Melbourne on Wednesday night, come up and dress him as 5 names. He'll buy you a drink if you're 18 or over.
Cool. All right.
And join the Lair League. What are we up to, Chief? Is the punishment really going to happen? If you haven't already, take us on this year. League code 128532 128532. If we get to 5K participants in the league, it's a punishment for me. What are we at, Chief?
We're at 4,000. So,
$1,000 more.
Yeah, and we really need to start thinking about what that punishment is because it's going to happen.
I thought it was a tattoo.
I think it could be.
You don't have any tattoos, do you, Phantom?
I do not.
Wonder what Mrs. Phantom would think
you might be over at my place a bit more.
All right. Well, we do have a lot of listeners in Melbourne, so we might see you then.
Oh, God.
Right.
If not, see you next week.
Gotcha.